The woman is a little more vocal with going after the man than she has been before, and that's because a lot of the constrictions have been uplifted, so to speak. Whereas prior to, it was her dress. Her dress did the talking. So she didn't have to chase because he was going to come chasing her because of the attire. So therefore, she was silent, but she let the lipstick talk. She let the tightness of the dress. She let the cleavage talk. But now, because, a lot of the taboo has been erased and everybody's breast is falling out, she, you know what I mean? And everybody's dress is tight. And now, individuals have enhanced body parts. So now she's got to say something. And now, lines have been erased as far as amalgamation is concerned. So now you got white girls chasing brothers and Asian girls chasing brothers. So now the sister finds herself in a peculiar situation. So now she can't just wear the tight dress because the Asian girl dresses tighter and shorter. And you know what the issue is with black men chasing white women. So, well, now she has to communicate. So what is she going to communicate? She's going to use the same lines on the man that the men for years have used on women. And she know what those lines are because they were communicated to her mother and they were communicated to her grandmother and her aunt, her best friend, so forth and so on. And so what I find is that you just really have individuals in hunt form and they're hunting each other because they're not realizing themselves. Because, well, I would say again, and I think we're in a construct, and I think it's most important for us to understand the impact this has had on us over time. And I'll say this. If an individual has any level of sincerity as it relates to caring about a person, unless you're engaging with that person and that person really knows your ins and outs and your ups and downs, they don't like you, they don't love you. Love requires that you go through some ups and downs, like you still have to see parts of me that maybe are not, the best side or showing of me. And people really don't engage to that extent. There's no time for people to engage to that extent. Why? Because you're working 24/7 and then thereafter you're pulled by various, areas of the construct, and nothing in the construct allows you to be real, to want to be real, because that would require revolution. So it's like you can want a better grade of meat, but it's still a piece of meat that you want. And it does nothing to take away from the value of the person, say you, but be clear. You understand what it is that I'm saying? That in this construct, individuals have been trained to want meat. So you can be standing in front of the person and they're engaging with you, but what they sense is a piece of meat, not a human being, not a soul, not a spirit, not divinity, because the conversation would be different. And that's just where we are. This culture, so-called culture construct, has turned on itself. And because it's turned on itself, which is a sign of how do you say when something is about to go out of existence, of retardation, there's a flip that occurs. So when people keep referring to how the woman is different and how the man is different, that's a sign that the construct that people call culture is unfolding on itself. It has lost the essence of what holds it in place. That's what's happening. And so in that uh, type of situation, This is the point in time where you stay focused on what it is that you are doing. Because individuals who have not been about it are feeling a sense of desperation. And so then again, what do you do when you feel desperate? You reach back for something of familiarity because you're uncertain about the tomorrow. Because today is communicating to you in various ways that things have changed, they will continue to change, and you may not be ready for it because you're too busy playing. And that's what has happened with a lot of people. But that's the function and the purpose of the construct is to keep the majority, if not all. It aims for all, but it can never capture all. But that is its function because it can't survive and you survive too. So it survives off of you being in an animalistic state. So that in that state, you respond animalistically, and everything is an animal to you. Everything is about consume people. You want to consume people. You don't want to have a relationship with people. You just recognize they have something you don't have. You just recognize they're about something, they're doing something, and you are not. So you want to consume them in an effort to consume that energy, in an effort to catapult yourself forward without doing the necessary work to just get there. And now it is an issue, as you stated, where women have always been crafty. She's I don't think women are going hard. I think women are sloppy. I think women have been reduced to engaging in the same mantics as men, and that's sloppy. That's very sloppy. Anytime you have to start saying to a man what a man say to you, yeah, that's soft. That's soft. Hard is when you don't have to say anything. Hard means you stoic. You understand, and if you stoic, it comes to you. It comes to you because you are who you are and you're about what it is. You understand, and they're sloppy. They're being very sloppy by using, petty lines. Because I think it was just to me when men did it, at first it was to me cute because it was your effort at being cute. But when you took it serious and she took it serious, that's when it became an issue of pimping and hoeing. And that's a sign that, okay, you're sloppy now. Because when you first asked me what my sign was, that was cute. That was cute. That was cute. But when you start adding on that all that other nonsensical, non-real uh, verbiage, and you believed it, and she believed it, it just became straight messy. And when you look at what people call relationships now, they're straight messy because no one's really happy. And after a while, everybody is looking for something other than one and the other to be inspired by. Very seldom do individuals even want to really spend time together to the point that they have to now schedule it in. Doesn't happen naturally because naturally I don't want it. So now we got to just agree, that we won't just naturally drift apart. We're going to force ourselves to stay together. So on Saturdays at 2 o'clock, that's our time to force each other to be around each other. Is what you have, and people think that's romantic.